Kowalski coming back at you again. So today, I'm going to be showing you what exactly I have in my bug out bag, why I have what I have in my bug out bag, and why you should have a bug out bag. Let's get started. I'm not a doomsday prepper, but I do understand the need to be prepared for anything. Whether it be war, natural disaster, man-made disaster, there's a plethora of things that could happen that could force you out of your home and into the wilderness. Now, I understand everyone's preparation is going to be different, depending on what your beliefs are, where you live, how much you can afford, that sort of thing. However, I do believe that everyone should have a multi-day survival bag just in case you need to get out of Dodge. In most cases, things just don't go to plan. That's why it's important to have a bug out bag with the key essentials for survival to ensure that you can make it through the first week of a disaster. The contents of your bug out bag shouldn't be too much to weigh you down, but it should be enough to get you through at least a week. A week will give you enough time on foot to get out of Dodge, get far enough away from civilization, and establish some sort of camp in the wilderness. It's much safer to survive in the wilderness away from other people in a shit hits the fan scenario. So in an SHTF scenario, your objective is to either shelter in place or bug out. If you have the ability to board up your house, you have a bunker or some sort of cabin in the woods or cabin in the mountains somewhere, that's fine. But if you have no option like that, you're going to want to bug out, get away from the city, get away from the town, and establish some sort of setup if a few miles into the woods. I would say stay away from private property, know your area, but I would absolutely stay away from like highways, towns, cities, anything like that. You absolutely want to make sure you find a place well secluded from people. But you also want to make sure you're familiar with that area. The last thing you want to do is to get lost in the woods trying to survive. So the first thing I have is going to be my AR-15. It's really easy to carry in one of these bags. It's very useful in an end-of-the-world situation or just a general survival situation. When you're going to be going up against other people with ARs and other kind of long guns, you're going to want something to defend yourself with. Also, if that's just not the case and it's just a simple, you're out in the wilderness and you're just trying to survive, this will take down a deer. So you can use this to bag yourself some game, defend yourself with. It's a very useful piece of equipment here. So the next two things I have here, I have my 2-quart canteen. This is useful because you never know when you're going to be able to get some potable water. You never know when you're going to have a chance to boil some water. You never know when you're going to have a chance to purify some water or get fresh water. So you always want to make sure you have a 2-quart canteen in addition to a 1-quart canteen that you can carry on your hip. Now the second thing here, I have my mess kit. This is just a simple metal bowl here. I got 2 plastic cups. I'm not even sure. Oh yeah, you know what this is? This is so you can hold the pan over a flame and cook. Very useful. Now this is a Swiss Army knife, but it has a fork and a spoon on it. So as you can see, that could be very useful, in addition to knives and a corkscrew. Not that you're going to be finding much wine out in the wilderness. This comes with 2 plates, in addition to another vessel you can boil some water in. So if you're camping with some buddies, you can dish out some food for them too. So the next item in my bug out bag I'm going to show you guys. It's going to be my Taurus Judge. Now the reason why I have my Taurus Judge in this bag is simple. But it's worth noting that in any survival situation, I'm already going to have a handgun on my hip. Most likely my .40 caliber Smith & Wesson or my Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum. So the reason why I have my Taurus Judge in this bag here is because I'm not always going to be able to have time to grab extra ammo for my carry gun that I have on my hip that day. The reason why I have the Judge in my pack is because not only can it shoot 45 Colt, it can shoot 410 shotgun shells. It's very useful for self-defense. Not only that, as a multi-purpose gun, you're more likely to possibly find ammunition out in the wild. Not that 45 Colt and 410 is that common these days, but you get the gist. But like I said, just in case I happen to use up all the ammunition for the gun on my hip, I have a backup handgun here with ammunition that I could use as a side. Now the next thing is enough ammo to get you by. I got 2 magazines here, plus 100 rounds. I got a box of 45 Colts for my Judge. It's not a huge stash of ammo, but it's enough for its purpose, for a multi-day survival bag, enough to get me through. So the next thing in my survival bag here is your food ration. Nothing special, not too much, just your simple emergency food bars. So you're supposed to eat 3 bars per person per day. That'll give you just enough nutrition, just enough sustenance to get by and survive. Each container holds 9 bars. So if I'm by myself, that gives me 6 days of survival food here that I can survive off of until I find some sort of huntable game, some sort of fish, some sort of plants, foliage that I can eat. This could save your life. Carrying these in my pack compared to 3 or 4 MREs, while wouldn't taste as good, it's a lot easier to carry and a lot more practical. These will save your life in an emergency situation. They give you just enough nutrition. That's what they're made for. They're not made to taste good. They're made to keep you alive. Speaking of taste, this is coconut and this is cinnamon. Everything in this bag is essential. But now we're getting to the essential essentials. Okay? This could be the difference between life and death. Then here we got some basic medical supplies. So here we have a first aid kit, an 85-piece set. Contains, bandages, gauze, butterfly closures, finger splints, stuff like that. Now an open wound can be a nightmare in the wild, especially without doctors, without the proper medical supplies. So here I have gunpowder. Your basic pistol powder, fast burning powder. This says for medical use because that's exactly what it is. It's for cauterization. If you have some sort of cut in the wild and you don't have anything to stitch it up, it's going to get infected. It's only going to get worse. So what you do is you sprinkle a good amount of gunpowder over the wound, and then you would take a flame to it. It's gonna hurt, but it's going to save your life. It's a lot better than in a week getting gangrene and getting sepsis and dying. Powder, black powder, with the combustion, gunpowder, black powder, they combust, they create a high temperature that will completely seal your wound and prevent infection, prevent it from bleeding any further. Yes, it's going to hurt. You're going to have a pretty harsh burn, but it's a lot better than an open wound out in the field. And obviously here are your waterproof matches. It's good to have some of these on hand just in case. It's not my only source of ignition, as you're going to see here in a bit, but it's always good to have these on hand. So in this other pouch here, we have a waterproof case. Now this contains a thin foil thermal blanket that will keep you warm, towel, glow stick, matches, just some odds and ends here, but the waterproof case is really nice. Now you have a Zippo and some Zippo fluid. A Zippo can be really useful in the field. It's windproof, it's easy to light, it will stay lit, and you have enough fuel for it, and as long as you have a fresh new flint and spring, you're all good to go. Now I would suggest carrying a bottle of simple CLP gun oil. Anything would work. You don't want to catch yourself out in the field for longer than you expect and not have anything to lubricate your weapon, especially if you depend on it for hunting game or defending yourself. Last but not least, for this pouch, we got a crank radio. This is extremely important. This has not only a crank for powering up, as you can see as you crank it, the little battery icon lights up. It also has a solar panel. You can sit this out in the sun and it will charge throughout the day. It's fully functional as a radio, so you can get emergency broadcast and news alerts. It has a compass, but I wouldn't trust the compass because, yeah, these usually don't work. You can hook your charger cord for your phone up to here, and you can charge your phone from the power that's in the radio. So you can crank it all day, and then you could use this as a power bank to charge your phone to get a signal. Now, I don't have a cord in my bag right now because I did just get a new phone, so I have to replace the cord that was in here. Now I'm going to show you the contents of the last two pouches here on the front of my bug out bag. And here, we have some water purification tablets, and I have a spare pocket knife. Now, the water purification tablets are important. You're not always going to be able to boil water. You're not always going to be able to find fresh, drinkable water. So you put a tablet of each in your canteen and you pour the dirty, nasty water and you shake it up. The iodine and the other ingredients in these water purification tablets are going to make it safe to drink. It's not going to taste good, but it's going to be safe to drink. I carry a pocket knife on me, in addition to a handgun, cell phone, wallet, keys, on a normal daily basis. But it's always good to have a spare pocket knife just in case anything happens to your main pocket knife. Better safe than sorry. Now the last pouch here contains my camo. Okay? So this is Arcturus face paint. Okay? Has 6 colors here: black, brown, multiple different types of green, and it works just like you see in the movies. You apply directly to your skin. This is waterproof, sweat proof, so it won't drip. And you go about making your camo however you would see fit. Now, I'm not the best at doing this, but you get the gist. You rub it on your face, camouflage yourself more. Very useful tool in the field. Now, I recommend your bug out bag be one like this one. One that you could easily flip over your back with these shoulder straps like a backpack. This will help you get all your gear from point A to point B without having your hands full. Having everything on your back in one place will help you immensely out in the field. Well, that about does it for this presentation. You know, you can put pretty much whatever you want, whatever you see fit in your survival bag. Set it up however you want. As long as you have one, you're better prepared than most people. Well, thanks for watching my video. That's it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.